Good day, Shell Point. I'm Janine Hammond, Manager of Resident Support Services here at Shell Point. There's always so much going on around Shell Point. Shell Point today is a great place to learn a little bit more about those events and activities. I hear from residents quite often that there's so much going on, they're not quite sure what to get involved in. So we have a lot of support groups here at Shell Point, and today I'm here with a leader of one of our support groups, the COPD support group, and I'd like to introduce you to Ken Peterson. Ken, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Janine.
So tell me, what is COPD?
COPD is a progressive condition. The classical definition of COPD is determined by a lung function test to see how much of the capacity of the lung can be expelled in 1 second. If you cannot discharge 70% of your lung capacity in 1 second, you are deemed to have COPD. So it really isn't a disease, but it is a major health problem.
So you really do need to see your doctor to receive a diagnosis or get an understanding of whether or not you have COPD.
That's correct. Unfortunately, many doctors deem patients to have COPD without the aid of a lung function test. I think that's a real problem. The CDC estimates that 30 million people in the country have COPD, and 12 million of them don't know it.
So that's almost half of the people that have COPD may not know it.
And that probably applies to people here at Shell Point.
Wow. Good to know and to have a better understanding of that lung function test. And what type of symptoms might someone who has COPD experience?
Shortness of breath is the most common denominator. If you have difficulty carrying on a conversation while walking, or if you have to stop to catch your breath after mounting a flight of stairs, that's probably an indication that you have some limitation. There are other lung problems besides COPD. COPD deals with the discharge of air from the lungs. Asthma, for example, you have trouble getting air into your lungs.
Okay.
So you have probably the similar symptoms, but a different reason.
Who do you think, if someone's watching this right now, who should consider coming to the COPD support group meetings? Who do you think would benefit?
Well, I think, firstly, I think caregivers should come, because the COPD patient needs a lot of support and some special considerations. Anyone who has difficulty breathing, as I say, being out of breath, we would be perfectly happy if somebody just came out of curiosity, if they might think that they might possibly have COPD. We would hope that they would be able to get some resources that would point them in the right direction to find out what their problem might be.
So one does not have to be using supplemental oxygen, say, in order to have COPD and to be attending the group?
No, definitely. I think that oxygen users are probably no more than half of the people that have attended our groups, and there are many people with COPD who do not need oxygen and may be able to, through rehab and other programs postpone the oxygen need. You can't restore what you have lost, but there are measures you can take that will slow the progression. And we spend a lot of time talking about rehabilitation programs that are available in the community and right here at Shell Point.
It sounds like really some great learning opportunities for people that would come to the group. I think that's great. The everyday tips and tricks, that you mentioned, such as rearranging your kitchen so that you can still do the things that you love. If you love to cook, you can still do that, but conserve your energy and your breath and work smart. So, Mr. Peterson, when is the next meeting of the COPD group?
The group will next meet on October 22nd. That's at 1:30 in the afternoon in the new Oak Room. The new Oak Room is where the Promenade Cafe was formerly located. We're meeting now on Mondays. The group had met on Tuesdays, but we stay with the same formula of January, April, July, and October for our meetings.
Very good. Thank you so much for sharing information with us today about the COPD support group. And thank you for joining us. I hope to see you at the next COPD support group.